Hey, meet the state lawmaker who is begging the Obama administration to sue him over illegal immigration. Only this guy ain't from Arizona. He's from Virginia, but he wants Virginia to crack down just as hard on illegal immigrants as they are in Arizona. And Prince William County Board of Supervisors Chairman Corey Stewart says all the better if Washington then knows after his state, too. Corey Stewart joining me now from Minneapolis, where he's visiting family. Corey, good to have you.
Good to see you, Neil.
It's not likely that your state would follow up with a crackdown along the Arizonas as things stand now. Do you see that changing?
I do see that changing. We've had several thousand people sign up at my website, CoreyStewart.com already. We're taking online petitions. And what you got to remember is that Virginia's got an election in 2011. And as a result, this is our last chance to get this passed. I think there's going to be a whole lot of pressure on legislators to get this thing passed because of the looming election.
But a lot of them might say, look at all the grief and guff that Arizona's gotten, whether they agree or disagree, and people threatening to boycott the state and not have conventions there or meetings there. So they might say, look, we kind of support what Arizona's doing, but we don't want all the flack they're getting.
Well, I think there's a principle of it. Do we sit by and allow the federal government, the Justice Department, to pick on Arizona? The rest of us just, stay on the sidelines and allow a holder to try to isolate, intimidate, and silence Arizona? Or do we say, look, we're going to stand by Arizona because if it's Arizona today, but it could be Virginia tomorrow and Texas the next day. This is a states' rights issue. What the Justice Department is trying to do is stop Arizona so that other states don't do it. This is the battle line. This is when we all got to jump in the fray, I believe.
If this is overturned, in other words, a judge, even in a follow-up appeal, a follow-up lawsuit, whether it's Eric Holder's government intrusion lawsuit on states' rights versus Fed rights, or it's racial, but he wins on this in court, does that take the powder out of your gun?
No, absolutely not. If there's any part of the the Arizona legislation that is deemed to be unconstitutional or in violation of federal law, we can simply amend the legislation in Virginia. We don't have to pass exactly the same thing. I believe, and the lawyers I've consulted about this also believe, that Arizona is on very firm legal footing simply because they're simply enforcing federal law. They're not creating new Arizona immigration policy. The policy is to enforce federal law. If the feds ought to sue anybody, they should be suing the states and the localities that have declared themselves sanctuary cities and are refusing to enforce federal law.
What kind of reaction have you gotten in the state?
Like I said, we've had thousands of people sign the online petition at CoreyStewart.com. I believe that we'll have at least 25,000 people signed up by the time of the legislative session, if not more. We're getting support not just from Virginia, but lots of support from around the country, Texas, Arizona, other states that want their legislatures and governments to do the same thing. At the end of the day, there's no question in my mind, there's going to be a whole lot of pressure placed on Virginia legislators to sign this legislation. Illegal immigration is not just a problem for border states. It's a problem for interior states as well.
Corey Stewart, thank you very much. Good seeing you.
Thank you.